Hi and welcome to another Tarkov Tactics episode, series where I do my raid breakdowns and focus on gameplay tips. The main goal of this guide is how to get better at TFT. It will be all about how to win firefights and make good tactical decisions. I will also try to analyze what went wrong and what actually worked. In this one I will face cultists at Nighttime Customs. It's a very recent raid from last week where I encountered them for the first time ever. Spoiler alert, it didn't end too good for me, but more about it later. First, there is some good stuff before we'll go and witness my grave mistake. We spawned garage site, so as I usually do, I checked everything before moving out further. That way I give people time to move out to the map center and make sure nobody will flank me if I will encounter somebody while traveling to my main destination. You can see that my first mistake was forgetting about night vision. I was switching loadouts a lot that day and here is the end result. So just a quick reminder, make sure to double check your gear before you queue for the raid. We are 4 months into the wipe, so I roll with full meta gear. I'm using my favorite weapon, the mighty MP7 with AP rounds. Our armor is Hex Grid and Exfil helmet. Raid was very quiet so far and it took me around 7 minutes to reach this place. I'm doing Insomnia quests and usually go to dorms, but this time I decide to check Crack House. When coming to high loot spot like this later in raid, you can expect somebody probably looted it and move on. Thing is, you should always be on a high alert and make sure spider senses are tingling with full force. My enemy did a decent ambush, standing in a very unusual spot, but because I wasn't rushing in and checked those corners, I was able to win this engagement. It's also very important to point out that the main reason I survive is because I wasn't trying to be too sneaky. I was also blinding my opponent with flashlight and netcode could be on my side this time around. Another reason why to move faster when breaching buildings. I always expect more than one enemy, but this time we got a clear confirmation. Looks like I have some time to use long-lasting painkiller. That way, in case I got black leg, I still would be able to move to cover, otherwise I would be a sitting duck. Enemy is using SVD, so we should have advantage. Still, our class 6 armor will not save us from SNB rounds he is probably using. We have to be careful. I played risky here. If that would be VOG grenade, we could be at that screen right now. While outside, I realized I have a good opportunity. My opponent is on stairs, so I tried to throw grenade through open doors in library. We will either kill him right away or make good enough sound distraction, it will give us upper hand in this firefight. Looks like grenade masked my footsteps and we capitalize on no recoil debuff when strafing in Tarkov. Because I was in this gunfight for some time and we didn't hear anybody else, it's fair to assume we are alone in this building. For now I hold my position and try to listen. I still play it safe and don't drop my guard down, clearing rooms one by one before committing to looting. I spent a lot of ammunition and need to lick my wounds. SMGs can go through ammo very fast and there could be a squad running from strongholds towards the gunfire they heard. So it's always good to have all magazines prepared when the time comes. Ready to rumble again. Time to check second floor and then claim the spoils of war. We can see the library doors were actually closed, but I think that last night was still a good try. One last corner check and time for some loot action. My armor is low durability and lost its protection capability, so I will switch it for my opponent's class 5 armor in a second. Again, making sure nobody sneak in, and I check the second body. My opponent was training his strength skill with all that shoddy ammo. Quite a cheap way to enter the raid overweight to start improving the stat. I continue looting and now it's time to drop my insured gear in a safer place. I could gamble and drop it in the building, but I take the risk to do it properly. Checking if nobody is camping outside, go to bush and drop my stuff. I went back to pick gear I drop and I'm ready to move to extract point. Here is where I predicted my future. Alright, let's find some cultists. You're probably screaming at Scream right now. Boar, turn on your night vision. And you're right, that is actually a mistake that costed me everything in this raid. And here is why. If I would have that night vision on, I would probably spot both of those cultists and would be able to better judge my situation. Also, worth noting, cultists can move without making any sounds. At this point I was expecting those were players and relate only on sound, and that led to my doom. There is happy ending for this one too. When I encountered cultists in my next raid on customs, I was prepared. Let's just cruise to extraction. And let's change the... Motherfucker, holy shit. Oh, he scared the shit out of me. Oh my fucking God. Alright, that's all in this one. Thanks for watching and see you in raids.